Hey guys, so it's here bringing you another video. Welcome back to Patch Note Breakdown. So we're doing these pretty much every single patch, and if I'm not mistaken, this is a pretty big patch. So we'll try to go through it as quick as possible, because obviously don't want to be here all day. I'm actually recording this live on stream, so if the people who are watching have any questions, they can throw them. And sometimes it's good to be live, because the YouTube audience can have those questions, but I get to answer them live, because the Twitch audience could have the same questions. Right, let's play the mini game. Is Kassadin going to be nerfed? Da, 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 da. Nope. Man, again. So, Silas, no nerfs. Kassadin, no nerfs. Echo, no nerfs. How? I don't understand. Alright, so we've got a lot of buffs. We've got some nerfs. And then we've got some new skins. So the pool party stuff is coming. Pool party Syndra, Heimerdinger, Jarvan, Orianna, and Talia. Doesn't look like there's a prestige skin from this set. Obviously, the next prestige skin has been announced, and it's Zoe. And there are mixed feelings about the prestige Zoe skin. All we'll say, because, you know, we keep it relatively PG here at HuzzyGames, the prestige Zoe skin looks like a used adult pregnancy thing. We'll say that. Right, let's move on. Champions, let's start with Aphelios. Base attack damage growth decrease. And if you're wondering what am I saying, go look at the image yourself with that in your mind and you'll get what I mean. Base attack damage growth decrease. And if you're too young, don't worry about it. Base attack damage growth decreased. Q chakram reset removed for epic monsters. Turret range indicator is no longer visible in Spectator, and R follow-up attack critical damage decreased. So again, Aphelios is probably never going to be properly balanced until, you know, people have said it, until he's got too many mechanics, right? So until some of those mechanics are probably removed, he's always going to be pretty strong, or he's going to be really weak. Because that's how kind of broken kit champions are. Because if they have an okay stat level, their kit just pushes them over the edge of being too strong. If they've still got a broken kit, the only thing Riot can do is nerf their stats, and suddenly they're really weak. I have seen, and before we get into what they're actually doing, I have seen what I actually believe could be the biggest fix to Aphelios. Other than just simply removing every gun and only giving him 2 or 3, make him like Victor. So make him start with 2 guns. Like every game he starts with the sniper and he starts with the pistol, for example. Then make it he has to buy each gun. Make it like it's an upgrade that like Victor has to buy his augment to get his more abilities for his E and his Q buff. Make it so Aphelios has to buy the other guns in the shop. So instead of going back and being like, all right, I'm going to get my BF sword, maybe, oh, I can't get BF sword, I have to get the flamethrower. Do that. That would honestly, I think, calm down the champion a lot. Because there will be some players who will be like, I don't want the grav gun. My team's got enough CC. I do not need to buy the grav gun this game. I just simply am not going to buy it. You can have the option to not buy that gun. I think it could honestly work really well. So maybe that's what they should do. Right, so attack damage growth for Aphelios has gone down by 0.2. Chakram reset no longer resets during the duration of epic monsters, so I guess that slows down his jungling question mark, or like his Baron take and stuff. I don't know. R Moonlight Vigil follow-up attack crit. It used to do 50% bonus attack damage. It's now only doing 20%, so that is a 30% nerf of bonus attack damage follow-up. So that is overall nerfs, but I still don't think that will fix the champion, if I'm honest. If you guys have been seeing these clips of the LCS, or LEC, sorry, the European Pro, that went like 1v4 on Aphelios and won the fight, or when Doublelift killed 2 people literally randomly. He didn't attack those people. He attacked a tower, and then he killed somebody, and he was like, wait, what? And then he killed a minion or something, or a ward, and then he killed another person. He didn't mean to kill people, and he killed 2 people, and he was like, what just happened? I don't think this is going to fix the champion, if I'm honest. Alright, Cassiopeia. Base magic damage... base magic resist decrease, so they're making her a little bit squishier in terms of her mage dueling potential, which is fine. No, I think he needs big buffs, personally. E attack damage increase, attack speed duration increase, both buffs. So his hop, it gives Whoa, that's a big buff. Early game is where I think he struggles, because recently we played a game of Gnar. We were against, I think, an Aatrox, and I was like, dude, I feel so weak. Well, his attack speed, increase that he got for his E was 20%, scaling up to 60. It now starts at 40%. That's doubling early game, and still ends at 60. So pretty good. Floppy Pock, thank you so much, dude, for your brand new Prime. And also the duration of your attack speed when you've used your E is going up to 4 seconds, down from 3. So those are complete buffs for Gnar, especially for lane phase, and that could make a pretty big difference. Callista, again, another champion that is going to be quite hard to balance, because again, she's mechanically weird. Like, she hops around a lot, and if you can't control it, well, if a good player is on her, then she can probably just take over the lane. So yeah, Harpo Beret, thank you so much, dude. So what are they doing? Attack damage growth has gone down by 0.5. You can see here already where she's wreaking havoc in top lane or jumping around her standard bot lane. She's, becoming a little bit too much of a problem for the average or pro play and also solo queue, especially in higher ratings. It's just kind of annoying. So they are just toning her down a bit. Kog'Maw, a champion you haven't seen in ever, and I will say, obviously not this patch, but next patch there will be, I believe, a Kog'Maw skin coming out. All the conspiracy theorists with their tinfoil hats right now going, see, I told you, they balance to that. Again, they don't, but people do believe it. You've got AP ratio increase for AP Kog'Maw Q, and another AP ratio increase for his Living Artillery ultimate. AP Kog'Maw hasn't actually been that bad. It's definitely been playable if you're good at AP Kog'Maw, so this is just a buff to a playstyle that some people are already doing. So I'd say be prepared to see a couple more AP Kog'Maws your way, especially next patch when he gets the new magic skin. Lucian, Q ability range increased. That's pretty big. Ability range used to be 900, it's gone up to 1,000, so 100 extra range on his Q. That's quite considerable. Like, that's better for lane phase, better for mid-game fighting and team fights. That's just flat out a buff. Making an ability go longer is overall a buff. Nocturne, bug fix on Umbra Blade's cooldown. Passive now always procs against monsters. So there was a bug with that apparently. And yeah, so it used to be his passive... basic attacks against enemy champions reduce the cooldown by 2 seconds. It's now basic attacks against enemy champions and monsters reduce the cooldown. So that is a pretty big buff actually to Jungle Nocturne's wave clear or jungle clear. So that's not bad at all. And someone right now is saying, oh, why isn't Fizz and Vlad broken? Why aren't they nerfed? Fizz is definitely not broken. Vladimir is quite strong, but I wouldn't say he's broken. He's definitely counterable, but Fizz is like the opposite of broken. Mentally Fragile, welcome dude, thank you so much for the brand new Prime. Nunu, now I've heard, yeah, Vlad is borderline, but I wouldn't call him broken, and Fizz is definitely not broken. Maybe in lower ratings people would struggle with Fizz, but, Nunu. Q damage and healing ratio increase. I've heard the rumor here this is AP Nunu buff, by the way. Our shield now includes AP ratio. Oh god, dude. We're legit gonna see AP Nunu, aren't we? Consume damage ratio for consume used to be 0.5 ability power. It's now 0.65. Oh god. His healing ratio used to be 0.7. It's now 0.9. Oh no, we're gonna see AP Nunus. His ultimate absolute zero used to be bonus health, and that was it, what it scaled off. It's now bonus health, and no, it's 1.5 ability power ratio? Oh, that's for the shield. Oh, thank God. I thought that was the damage ratio. Oh, Jesus, that's the shield. Okay, it's still pretty. That's still pretty strong. If a Nunu has 500 ability power, you're giving it what, Nunu 1500 shield with ability power without taking on his health. That's a big shield. If you're running ability power Nunu, or am I dumb? Is that 750? Wait, yeah, that's 700. Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah, if he's got 500 ability power, it's 750. Forget what I said. Again, that's the problem with doing these quite quick. All right, next up. Ornn, the assassin tank in top lane. Passive health and mana items now retain previous health and mana percentages. What? Back to basics. So Withers Living Forge. Health and mana items built in the field provide 100%. So if you buy a ruby crystal, I think it just straight away gives you that health on top of what you currently have. I don't think it's doing that anymore. Health and mana items built in the field retain its previous health and mana percentage. Returning to base still brings health and full mana items to full. I think that's what that means. I think that means you can't just, you know, buy a Giant's Belt and then suddenly get the bonus health instantly. It keeps your... So if you're on 40% health, you buy the item, you'll still be on 40% health. I think that's what it's doing. That's good, because it's kind of annoying. And then when you go back, you can, you know, get the normal health and stuff. Okay. Again, Ornn is still... Like, the weird thing, Ornn is still really strong, but you're seeing less of them, because I legitimately think people just got bored of playing Ornn. Because he is very boring. Rakan. W base damage increase later. So it's a bit of a damage buff. Nothing to scream about. It's like a 20 damage buff in late game. That's not really considerable. So that's that. Rise, base magic resist and attack damage increased. So magic resist has gone up by 2 and attack damage has gone up by 2. That will help his early lane phase for sure. Again, you see Rise every now and then, but it's usually a Rise player. Rise hasn't been what I'd say a generic mid lane pick for quite a while, or even top lane. Syndra, Q cost increased. Oh, that's a nerf. Ow. Jesus, 20 mana nerf in the early game. So her cost used to be 40 mana, rank 1, up to 80. It's still 80 at max, but it's 60 mana, rank 1. When you only start the game with 300 to 400 mana, that's not much. That's not many Qs. So that's a pretty considerable nerf for Syndra. She is strong, though. So there's that. Vi, Q cooldown decrease later. So in late game, it's now 6 seconds. It used to be 8 with cooldown reduction. You'll have Vi Q up every, like, 3 to 4 seconds. That's pretty good. It's not bad. Yorick, our range for Maiden of the Mist leash is decreased. So it used to be a 900 range, at which she returned to Yorick, so you can kind of stay away and the Maiden can do her thing at a longer range. It's now nerfed to 600. That is a third nerf, 33% nerf. It's quite big. Yorick mains probably won't like that, and I will say, I don't think Yorick is that strong at the moment. Like, he's okay, but he's definitely not, like, top-tier top laner. Some people say that's a buff. Is it, though? I'm not sure if it's a buff, because, like, it's in the buff column. I don't know, man. That could be both. That could be interpreted as a buff and a nerf, though. Because sometimes Yorick... I legit have killed people as Yorick. That I've ran away from the Maiden. The Maiden has killed my target, and I'm definitely, like, at 900 range, and I'm safe. So, I don't know. So, apparently, people in Twitch chat are saying Yorick mains are liking that. Because you might have more control over the Maiden. I could see that, okay. But I don't know. Honestly, as someone that does play Yorick occasionally, I see that both as a buff and a nerf. It's situational. There's going to be some games that the shorter range is great. So your Maiden doesn't suicide to tower as often and stuff like that. That's good. But there are some games in difficult matchups that having a longer range Maiden is a good thing too. So I'd see that as a both buff and nerf. Maybe overall a buff because it gives overall more control to the Yorick. But there is definitely not every situation that's a buff. There is a slight negative there, but I'd say overall control is good. Yuumi, you stupid cat. They're just reducing her mana. Is that it? Really? E cost increase. That's all you're doing. You're not reducing her healing. Nothing. Really? So the cost of Zoomies, which again is just the movement speed, right? It was 100. Huh? It was 100 base at rank 1 to 160 at max rank. It's now 40 and then 60, but it's 15% of max mana. So that is... I guess that's a nerf to mid to late game, because when you get more mana, it's going to cost a lot more. Yuumi mains are saying she's dead. Oh, I hope so. So yeah, mid to in the early game, because obviously you don't start. That is the heal. Am I being an idiot? I don't even understand. I thought Zoomies wasn't the heal, or maybe it is. Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? Because you W on top of somebody, the Q's the movement thing, and the E is actually the. Oh, that is the heal. Okay, it's the movement speed and the heal, right? See, this is why it's handy to do these live. So I don't know. In the early game, it probably won't change that much. Someone's saying level 1, she has 400 mana. So at level 1, it's still 100 cost. So it's the same at level 1 when you equate 40 base and 15% of max mana. It's apparently 100 right now, or will be. And then any time that you buy mana, you know, Athenes or any of those items, and when you're leveling up, you get more mana, it's going to get more and more expensive. Okay. Well, yeah, okay, that is actually quite... Oh, God, yeah, max mana. So if Yuumi is nearly it's max mana. It's not current mana. Yeah, that's a nerf. That's quite a big nerf. Wow. Okay. I'm not sad about that. I really... And I will say, I'm sorry, everybody. And if you like Yuumi, all power to you. I really dislike Yuumi. For a couple of reasons. One, again, I've said it multiple times in commentaries. Riot Games. We're trying to get rid of funnel strategies. The player base has said they hate it. Here's Yuumi, literally the funnel champion. It's like, okay, one, that doesn't make sense. Two, I think healing is very out of control in League of Legends right now. And thirdly, I'm not a big fan of people that could just jump on another player and just basically be AFK for most of the game. Like, I'm sorry, I know people will disagree with me some there, but I really don't think it's a healthy playstyle, like, at all. I think it's kind of scumbaggy. I think there could definitely be things that they could do to it, like... You know, I think if the target that Yuumi is on gets stunned, Yuumi should also get stunned. Because I just think it's dumb that she can just continue to spam heal, even though every crazy thing is happening in a team fight. So, I don't know, like, I'm just not a fan of that champion. I think a lot of people aren't, but yeah. Conqueror. Right, we're happy. So we'll read this because Conqueror is obviously quite important to a lot of champions. We're happy with Conqueror's current standing. A Keystone players gravitate to elongated fights and utility for healing and DPS. That being said, we've been seeing the rune bleed into other archetypes, and overall its peers like Electrocute. You know, like Assassins have even started taking Conqueror, like Zeds. As a result, we wanted to fine-tune the rune into a more modest way where it's maintained its intended strengths, so we're shaving off some of the power to open up other Keystone, blah, blah, blah. So they're making the stacks go to 12, not 10, and these stacks are less... They're less strong per stack, but you have to get up to 12 to get probably the same amount as 10. So this is making it that, yeah, it's really to get elongated fights, not like quick burst fights. So people like Zed, who have been taking Conqueror, probably won't take it anymore because Zed does a little quick fight, and then he'll run away. He won't get to the 12 stacks in time for it to now be worth. So that's probably what that's for. So overall, I'm fine with that. Again, Conqueror should be for bruisers and stuff like that, like who are looking for long trades, long fights, not an assassin. So, yeah. Someone's saying, is Conqueror still good on Darius or is Phase Rush better? Still good on Darius. It's situational. Generally, the way that it is for a lot of bruisers who can run Phase Rush or Conqueror, if you're in a matchup that your opponent is going to actively fight you, for example, let's say you're playing Darius, you're against a set. You both are going to just fight each other all the time, and, you know, you've got your axe, he's got his fist, you're just going to stand basically still and whack each other. Conqueror's better. If you're playing in a matchup that either it's a range matchup, so they're going to try and kite you, or, oh, I own that champion, and they're not going to try and fight me, so they're going to try and run away from me all the time, Phase Rush is better because it gives you the utility to chase them. So that's, in essence, the difference of the two. Guardian. Not really a rune that I see that much, if I'm honest, and they're nerfing it. Guardian is overperforming after its recent buff due to consistency, bringing its base shield value back. So its shield used to be 80 to 200. It's now going to 70 to 150. So a 50 shield nerf at max rank. Like, I don't really see people play Guardian that much. Like, yeah, the only champion I honestly see all the time pick Guardian is Bard. Not much more than that, if I'm honest. So that's a bit weird, but maybe I just, you know, yeah, Rakan, I guess. But again, you don't see many Rakans. the buff he got earlier isn't really a buff. I don't know. It's a bit weird. Death's Dance. Oh, please be nerfed. So I haven't looked. My call for this was make it a melee only item. Base post mitigation damage storing decrease for ranged champions. Okay, they haven't made it melee only, but they have nerfed it. So post mitigation damage, it used to do 20% of the damage that you take. You, instead of taking it straight away, you get 20% damage reduction, but that damage is spread over 3 seconds. Instead of it now being 20%, it's going down to 10%. So you take more damage. That's good. Again, it's so silly to me that literally half the AD carries in current play, Aphelios, Ezreal, you know, quite a few of them, buy Death's Dance 3rd item, and then the AD carries can't die anymore. And it's like, oh. So this will help. Again, they still have a bit of damage mitigation. Obviously, the item itself still gives you lifesteal, it gives you cooldown reduction, it gives you tank stats. But honestly, the big thing with this item was the 20% damage reduction over 3 seconds. You take it instead, and you're lifestealing that 3 seconds of damage. So it didn't really ever affect you. So this will help that nerf. That's a good nerf. So, yeah. Alright, so champion select reporting and mute testing. If I'm not mistaken, this might not be... Yeah, it's not for a lot of servers, unfortunately. So you can see here, during the next couple patches, we're testing 2 new features to address in-game behavior in champion select. North America and Korea are up first. So, unfortunately, as someone that plays on EU West, we're not getting it yet. Even though, again, EU West is arguably the biggest server. But, whatever. I get it. If you're people like, why are those the test regions? Basic principles. North America is the dev server. That is where the developers are developing the game in LA or wherever they are, Santa Monica, I guess. They're there. So that's the server they're on. It makes sense. And then Korea is known, obviously, as the most try-hard server. So you've got the two... well, you've got the dev server, and then you've got the try-hard server. Like, obviously, EU West is very try-hard, but maybe not as try-hard as Korea. So there you go. They're going to be joining later during the test window. So we will get it in these 2 patches, apparently. So Champion Select muting blocks messages from the muted player in Champion Select, and the mute carries over in-game. That's good. And then for now, Champion Select reporting is only a place to collect data. So if you report somebody in Champion Select, that person technically will not get a punishment from that report. What it's doing is it's learning. So, you know, with how many millions of players there are in League of Legends, Riot literally cannot go through every single report manually. You know, as much as we'd probably all want it, it's just not a thing that they can do. So they have to build these AI that learns behavior. And obviously there are always going to be false negatives. There's always going to be exceptions that people got banned and they shouldn't have. A great example recently has been High. Obviously he got banned or chat restricted when he definitely shouldn't have been. There are going to be some, you know, it's going to slip up every now and then. But for the vast majority of cases, it's fine. And for that to do better, it needs to learn behavior. And that's what it's going to be doing in the next couple patches. Again, Twitch chat, be careful of full caps. Thank you very much. But yeah, so it's going to learn. So yes, still, don't be disheartened if you're in Champion Select and someone's being toxic and you're like, what's the point in reporting them? Riot have said that person's not going to get punished. No, do report it, because that's how the system is going to learn to eventually give punishments in Champion Select. So it's good. Overall, really good. Bug fixes, don't care about going through those. Upcoming skins we said about earlier. Again, I don't know if we've got a chroma. Again, does anybody see with my eyes? I'm terrible with it, obviously. Is there a green chroma anywhere that would look to be the League partner chroma? So this is the handy thing with being live. Orianna and Heimerdinger, apparently. Oh, it might be Heimerdinger. Maybe. It possibly is Heimerdinger. Because I remember in the League partner server, I think that might have been hinted at. So it might be Heimerdinger. That would be cool. Is it that one? I think it might be that one. Or that one. Again, being colorblind doesn't have... Yeah, it's that one. That one looks proper green. And it wouldn't be one of these. These are old skins. It would be definitely one of the pool parties. I'm going to say it's Heimerdinger. But there we go. That is the patch. Overall, I think it's an okay patch. I still think they're missing out on some nerfs of some champions. But that's just me. But yeah, I don't think there's anything crazy controversial here. I don't think there's anything really bad. AP Nunu is going to be interesting if that does come back a little bit. Again, I don't think people will be building full AP Nunu. What it may do for jungle Nunus, it might open up the option to build Runic Echo instead of Cinderhulk. That's what it might do. But yeah. If you guys did enjoy, though, the patch note breakdown, throw a like on the video. Let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.